Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of I Cast Fireball, an actual play 5e D&D adventure where we go through the campaign Skulls and Shackles. I'm Thomas, your DM for this adventure, and around the table we have...
Lieutenant Ignis Halcon.
Maximus Shuns.
Ataraxia Kalian.
And Buster Bilgewater.
1 chimera, 2 chimera, maybe 3 chimera? We'll see.
Secret third chimera?
A secret third chimera?
A chimera tra.
Red chimera, blue chimera, 1 chimera, 2 chimera.
Zan.
The battle of the chimeras for the treasure in this cave has continuing to commence with our adventuring crew here, and that's where we're joining them on this week's episode of I Cast Fireball. So, I believe, Buster, you were the last one to take your turn with a gust of wind, keeping it back while all of you framed a perfect shot east of the second chimera, the dead, lifeless body of the first one in front of all of you, as the gust of wind is pushing the chimera back. So, as the chimera is getting pushed back, it's actually its turn. Now, you said it has to spend 2 feet of movement
For everyone towards us.
So basically, it's kind of like the difficult terrain.
It's basically halved, yeah.
So it is, to answer Ataraxia's question from last week that he didn't get answered, this is a dumb creature. So it is not going to be smart, and it is just going to do, it's not going to fly, it's just going to do its 15 feet of movement forward. 5, 10, 15. It steps over some of the boulders that are on the ground, and it is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet away from the line that you guys have all drawn, with Ignis in the sky, 15 feet up, and Max and Buster side by side. It's going to spend its other bit of movement to do 15 because it's essentially dashing. So it is now stepping on the corpse of the first chimera, directly underneath. Directly underneath Ignis's echo, about 10 feet away from Ignis, Buster, and from Max. So it does not get any attacks. It's used its entire turn. So we now jump to Ignis.
Ignis is flapping with her echo in the air, and the echo that is in this long, flowy medieval gown looks down at the chimera below and stops flapping her wings and puts both of her hands together, and so as she falls onto the chimera, tries to hit the lion straight on the nose as she falls.
With its fists, right? Just
with her fists, because
Great.
a echo, I can attack from my position or the echo's position without unleashing the incarnation, yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll for this. This is with advantage.
This is fairy fired, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With advantage, fairy fired, yes.
Nah. First one was better. 22.
22 is a hit.
That is only 9 points of bludgeoning damage as her ghostly hands come down and just straight through the lion's maw.
Yeesh, 9 points. Still a lot more than some other classes could do, but 9 to the chimera here, and
then she lands in like a 3-point pose right in front of the chimera, staring down the lion's face.
Anything else on your turn, Ignis?
Nope. Ignis is going to stay in the sky.
All right, Max, we go to the top of the round with you, sir.
2 questions real quick. 1, do we have any health potions in our party?
Yes, we do.
Did we hand them out, or are they all with somebody?
Listeners, I think we did discuss that we did hand them out.
I have 2 small health potions written down. I don't know that we gave them out to anybody. Because in the party inventory, I have 2 small health potions written down.
If Max grabbed one of them from Ignis and chugged it, is that an action, bonus action? What are you declaring, Thomas?
So I'll say that you can grab it for a free action right now.
She might be in the air, though.
Technically,
she might not be
I'm
within.
15 feet in the air.
She is 15 feet in the
She's
air,
15
actually.
feet
It's
in the air, and
impossible.
she just don't care. Okay.
Would it be, like I just drop it?
Unless we had, I thought we pushed it to other people, but if it's not on the character sheets, then we're gonna have to just go with what's on the character
Never mind.
sheets.
Sorry. Yeah, I have it written in my inventory. I don't know if you have one written in yours.
Well, and Mickey did mention that she would be the
loot goblin
holder.
Parallel. If we are on opposite sides of a creature with one of the echoes, is that advantage or not? Just knowing for future. I know he's fairy fired, so.
It is not, because the echo is a construct. It's an object, not a person.
But you still get advantage with this creature anyway.
Yeah. I was just wondering just for future reference of fighting. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I had asked that before. The echo is a construct, an object, therefore not.
All right. I
advantage.
shoot it in the face.
Boom. You got your bardic inspiration you can rely on if you need be, but here we go. And advantage,
bonus
sir.
action, Slayer's Prey. That is going to be a non-natural 20 to hit. And I will favored foe
That's
him.
a hit.
Can do that as many times as my proficiency bonus. So sweet, I can. That adds a 4 to the attack. Okay, let's do this. That is 14 points of damage.
Whoa.
Nice.
There we go. Love that. All right.
And then Max is actually gonna. No, I'll stay there because I don't want any other. Because right now it's me. She's 15 feet in the air. Like she just don't care. And
Buster is right next to you, and he's holding the gust of wind.
okay, I don't want Buster to get attacked, so I'm just gonna stand my ground.
All right. Sounds good. Max, your turn is over. Ataraxia, you are directly diagonal and back behind Max.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change real quick. I'm gonna back up 5, 10, 15, 20 feet.
All right. Sounds good. Max, your movement is done. You're 20 feet back. And now we're going to go to Ataraxia.
Okay, got the fairy fire up. That's the main thing. I'm going to retreat back to, once again, that sort of corner right behind Max. And we're going to give him a second level Cure Wounds as well.
Oh, baby. There it is. So you move 20 feet back essentially to maintain your positional relationship with Max. Yes.
Correct. That's going to be 11 hit points back to you.
Great.
And then bonus action, I feel like Buster is still real. Do you still have Bardic Inspiration, Buster?
Did you give that to me at the very start of the fight?
No, you gave him a Silvery Barb's inspiration.
That's right.
I don't think Buster has an inspiration right now.
I have an inspiration on my
bardic,
character
though.
sheet at least. I don't know if I've
A
used it.
normal one, yeah.
Yeah, normal.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give you. I think this is going to be my last Bardic Inspiration for the day. We'll give.
I was just thinking that,
to
yeah.
Buster.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Ataraxia given his last inspiration, and then we are going to move on to Buster if there's nothing else.
That'll do it for me.
Okay. Now, because he's still in my gust of wind, I'm going to keep it rolling because he will have to roll another strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away. Though, I'm guessing a 13 won't be too difficult. Buster's going to kind of mutter under his breath like he's going to say, I feel like we're waking up past the rooster's call right now. Like he feels like there's something up. Like I think I would tell me if this is too much, but I feel like Buster would know that these aren't natural occurring creatures. That chimera are maybe he doesn't know chimera exactly, but I just feel like it's pretty obvious this isn't like a creature of nature. This is something strange.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely know that it's not a creature of nature, but you've never really come across this before. But you're a seafaring sailor, right?
Yeah. Can I do a history check on like maybe if I ever heard about these kind of things growing up from like an uncle or somebody like magical in my family?
Yeah, so for you, the DC might be a little bit high, but yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Paragon got big families, guys. I got a lot of relatives.
That is true. A lot of rumors as well.
That is a 13.
13. Not high enough to really get a full remembrance of a conversation that you've had in the past, but enough to support what you've already said of like these are not naturally occurring creatures. They definitely do not belong or naturally belong in an island like this, as far as you are aware. Like this should just be like wolves and maybe some gorillas type of a thing. Like that's it. But what the heck is this creature doing? And why does it have a dragon's head?
And I guess I will, because it's not at me yet, I think I can move backwards.
I think so.
Keeping the line on it. I'm going to go ahead and move 30 feet back.
As you're moving backwards, maintaining concentration, I'm actually going to have you roll strength. Oh gosh, which saving throw? I'm going to have you roll a saving throw with a very low DC, just on the off chance that your gust of wind gets interrupted here, because you are going to be moving over some boulders here, and you're maintaining concentration. I feel like you'd have to face forward on the chimera, right? Like you'd have to like face like where you're pointing.
Could I move slowly then and maybe like reduce my distance at least? Even if that can give me like a lower DC to hit maybe, or
yeah. So if you want to move carefully, absolutely, I'll lower the DC a little bit even further than that. So why don't you go ahead and roll? Let's have you do a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Inspiration.
Oh no!
I rolled a 2.
Oh boy.
I rolled a 3. With
Okay.
with a +2. So I'm gonna use my inspiration because I don't want to lose this concentration. He's terrified of this thing.
All right.
There we go. And I'll go ahead and add my bardic inspiration to that too if I've got it.
Yep.
It's
You
a
do.
D6,
D6.
minimum of 2.
I rolled a 2. So
There you go. So
14.
Perfect. That is absolutely enough to save over tripping
Haha.
over these rocks.
Oh,
So you
boy.
maintain concentration. You are in a direct diagonal with a Max and Ataraxia facing away from the diagonal is pointing away from the chimera, while you're maintaining the gust of wind pushing forward, keeping this chimera back. Anything else on your turn, Buster?
no, he's super focused and very scared.
All right. Chimera has to roll a strength saving throw, I believe. Yes?
DC 13, yes sir.
DC 13. Here we go. 19 on the dice for a total of 23. So you keep up the gust of wind, but it's just able to cut the wind essentially and not be blocked. Oh no, not get pushed back. That's what it is.
It still has the half speed if it's trying to
Yes.
get to us. Yeah.
Great. As it still has the half speed, it's a dumb creature. So 5, 10, 15, and it's going to go right to you, Buster, which it has to...
Can my Echo take an opportunity attack as it moves away from it?
Sure. Dumb creature here.
Well, I'm glad that was advantage. One of them was a 1. It's a non-natural 20.
Okay, that's a hit.
13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice. 13 points. This creature is looking pretty hurt. It's definitely past bloodied and looking pretty darn hurt here. And it's going to use its final bit of movement, so it's dashing towards right next to Max and Buster here as Buster, the gust of wind is still pushing against it technically, but it is a side part of it is side by side with you, so its body is getting pushed, but its heads are like out of the gust of wind right now, and so it's like one step further and it would be totally out of your gust of wind right now. So here we go. That's going to be its entire turn though, and we jump over to Ignis as this terrifying just like chimera coming at you with just a fury in its 6 eyes that it has. Ignis, your go.
Ignis will remain herself the 15 feet in the air flapping as she's just observing, and then the Echo will flare her wings and essentially do a Superman punch, right? Like she just flaps her wings behind her just straight at the chimera.
So it moves 15 feet to the chimera and just right in the snake tail.
Another non-natural 20
That's a hit.
and another 11 points. That was the same exact roll I had on my last one. Both the dice and the D20.
This chimera is looking very hurt, and it is looking angry. So it was angry before, but because it's so hurt, the anger is intensified. Ignis, anything else on your turn?
I probably couldn't take a look around as I'm flying 15 feet in the air to make sure nothing else is sneaking up on us, could I?
Nothing that you can roll for, so I'll just keep it in consideration.
I'm observant.
Perception.
I have passive insight and perception.
Passive perception. Yeah, so your passive perception, I'll keep that in mind.
'Kay.
But nothing as of right now with your current passive perception score.
That's one of the reasons Ignis is staying above the battlefield, is to be able to have some kind of heightened perspective.
Great. All right, Ignis, your turn is done. We're back to the top of the round. Max, You are at the top of the round here. The chimera is directly in front of you. It's tasted your blood, and it is wanting more as it is just almost snapping.
It's how
at you.
far away from me?
It's right in front of you.
It's right in front of
Yeah.
me. Yeah, that's right.
5 feet from you. You can touch it if you want.
Shoot it in the face.
Yes.
The face.
Still
Okay.
advantage.
I do the most rock and roll
Yep,
thing I can do.
Advantage with fairy fire. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
That's a hit.
All right. And I don't need to do Slayer's Prey every time. If I have it on a creature, it stays on there until I choose to do a different creature, so I don't have to use that bonus action technically. Okay, let me get my dice here. But I do have Favored Foe up on it, so that still is adding to my damage. Here we go. Oh, suck. Oh, man. Super low roll. Disappointing to not Thomas, but yeah, that's a very bad super low roll. 7 damage.
7?
Yep.
Tell us how it's done, Max.
Yes. Yes.
There we go. The Monster Hunter.
There it is.
I just examine the creature in front of me, and I'm like, because I keep shooting it in the face. I'm like, okay, which face do I want to pick? And I'm like, well, you know, a lion, I can get that anywhere. You can pick up a lion head at any little port that I can find. And the dragon, I'm a dragon. I got a dragon head. I'm not, so, you know, that's useless. But this goat one, I'm not gonna shoot it in the face because I want to keep that goat head. And so it's just gonna be like, all right.
Where else are you gonna find a nice goat head like that?
Here, I'll do I'm gonna pull
You
it.
know how
covers
rare
his
goat
horns
I'm
heads
gonna
really
pull a
quick.
full Thomas. Well, it's a huge goat head.
Yeah.
Like, where are you gonna find that huge of a goat head? And so I'm gonna say odds dragon head, evens lion head. Oh, okay. Boom. You just look and be like, this cave is only big enough for one dragon head, and shoot the dragon head in the face.
Yes.
In the face.
As it goes right through the dragon, out at the back of its throat, and it just collapses, and the weight drops the lion and goat head, and the vitality of these two other heads is just not. It's just not enough to keep moving forward. Just too much blood has been lost, too much exertion to where they just have to give up the ghost as all of their energy is being drained by the dragon head that is now no more, as you stand supreme as the one dragon in this cave, with the exclusion of the other chimera dragon head, which is still intact on the other chimera. But all in all, well done. And that's a level up for our party here, everybody.
14 episodes.
Look at us.
That feels good. Immediately, the gust of wind goes out, and I'm just gonna put a hand on Max and be like, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
For what?
For killing it."
Oh, well, yeah, that's what we were doing.
Well, I killed the first one.
Am I the only one that saw a creature with 3 faces and teeth slowly walking towards it for the last 30 seconds?
Busta.
I mean, I do see it, but unfortunately, I can't empathize with you as far as being terrified by it.
Busta, I will say, if you're going to be traveling with me, you're going to see a lot more terrifying creatures.
Some of them might be the creatures inside us all.
It's the creatures we found along the way inside us.
I'm still kind of nervous here, Captain. These aren't natural creatures. This isn't normal. This whole 3-head
Max is going to
thing.
go up and just start trying to cut off the goat's head. He's like, this is so rare. This thing is huge. You're never going to find a goat head that's this big.
While Max is harvesting, can Ignis take a lap around the cave? She has another 45 seconds left of her wings. She just take a quick lap and see what she can see.
Yeah, so with your dark vision, you're able to take a look, and there's not much that is of importance here. It looks like some of the hovels are completely destroyed. Some looked like they were in the process of construction. As I mentioned, heavy dust. Let's go and have you roll a perception check just to see if there are any secret things, if you pick them up, or if we're just relying on your passive perception, essentially.
Natural 20.
Baby.
Because my perception's not great, because it's that makes it a 19. But it was a natural 20.
So
This is like the post-fight, extra.
Right.
Zoned in.
Yeah.
So as you look to the north of the cave here, you do see a small, very shallow body of water. It looks like it is not even like barely up to your ankles when it comes to water. And it's not like an expansive, like shallow, but it looks like it to be some sort of like natural spring, natural water source to the north. But as I mentioned earlier, the chimera coming from the west, there does seem to be a small opening into the west, maybe about like 90 feet from here, that you could go investigate, that you could go look into.
Well, a good scout returns and reports, so she will return back to the group, and as she lands, the light emanating from her wings grows and grows and grows and grows until it almost bursts, and then red sparkles fall into the ground as her wings disintegrate around her. And she'll share what she saw as she was flying around, just to give context of the area that they're in.
Great.
Good job. And I prestidigitation a gold star onto the lieutenant's lapel.
Yes.
Almost condescending if it wasn't for
Anybody else besides Ataraxia, it would have been sarcastic.
I know.
Condescending if it wasn't coming from a child.
From the captain. Brilliant.
Yeah,
I love it.
But yeah, I turned to Buster and I'm like, you make a good point. I don't know if necessarily chimeras are like endemic to Raha-doomed, but it wouldn't surprise me if they are. Like, if that has something to do with the Raha-doomed settlers who came here in the first place.
Yeah, I just don't want to. I wouldn't be interested in meeting whoever made these, but I'm also curious. Like, I kind of feel like Rickety should know he's got these kind of things on his island. Like, this is a dangerous creature to have around.
Right, well, a dangerous creature to once have had around, am I right?
Right. Yes. Because where there's two, there's definitely not more than the two.
There's definitely not a secret third chimera that we're going to have to deal with.
I'm just saying, one chimera is an oddity. Two is concerning.
The
from my
beginning of a
perspective.
pattern for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
One chimera, shame on me. Two chimera, shame on
Thomas.
Shame on the
the
DM.
players for being too good at their job.
Thomas.
real
Can I
quick.
light my torch?
Yeah, so we're gonna go to Max, and then we'll come back
apologies.
to then we'll come back to Ataraxia and Buster.
Max wants to harvest 4 things from these creatures.
Okay.
One is a huge goat head, because duh. Number 2, he's going to harvest from the other goat head one of the horns, and he's also going to, in the midst of these 2 creatures, harvest at least one of the lion's claws and one of the dragon's teeth. And what he's actually going to do is, at some point, he assumes when they get back and the ship's all ready, he's going to find probably a blacksmith or a weapon master, and he's actually going to modify the crossbow to where I said that he has like a handle that he holds the crossbow with at the top, where he has the trigger and the handle. The handle is going to be the goat's horn.
Nice.
The trigger is going to be one of the lion's claws, and one of the aiming pieces is going to be a dragon's tooth, just because he likes to modify
Sick.
everything
Yeah.
around the animals he slays.
Sick. All right. Well, let's see what kind
Very
of
cool.
quality you can get out of each of these
Oh,
items
no.
here.
Is this
Okay.
survival?
It's like you describe all that cool stuff, and now you got to roll for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Thomas, like, that sounds great. Let's see if I can destroy your hopes. No, I'm joking.
how about
No.
let's leave it to chance, shall we?
Survival, right? For harvesting
Let's.
like, stuff?
Yeah. So there's rules as written. Harvesting is not really like a big thing, as we discovered from season 1, right? Like, it's just kind of like how we're defining it in the moment, right? And survival's probably going to be the best option. I could see an argument for nature, so I wonder if we might benefit from relying on some like third-party stuffs when it comes to harvesting, just to get some like clear-cut rules, since this is a big part of your class moving forward, Jacob. And so let's hold off just for a few minutes, and let's see if we can get to this episode for the actual harvesting rules that we can get to. And before the end of the episode, we'll roll something we can get some sort of quality out of these parts for the Chimera, okay?
Okay. My nature sucks, so I really hope it's not that.
Yeah. Sounds good. And we're going to jump back to Ataraxia and Buster. And as you both are talking, you remembered the stories and the rumors is that nobody came back from their adventures to find this treasure, right? And Buster in particular, you're like, yeah, well, of course they never came back, because if they got this stinking far, these friggin' chimeras just double teamed them and totally just murdered them, right? Or just like totally ate them. And so some rumors are starting to get pieced together maybe a little bit here in this cave.
Well, I mean, if nothing else, we're doing a great service for Rickety, for all of the future people who might be coming here. But why are they going to need to come here? Because we're going to get all the treasure and bring it back with us. Now, when I was in that hut, there wasn't a zombie. Thank Hayden Kalian, there wasn't a zombie in there. But I'm going to go check out what else might be inside this hut. See if I can find any leads on some cool treasure for us.
Do you want us all, should we all check the huts, or should we? I haven't seen much around here where treasure should be.
Yeah, this part seems to be fairly lean, kind of ramshackle, but there's always a possibility that treasure might be here.
Yeah, this definitely seems like a settlement, at least. If we're talking about the people who came and set up here, these don't seem, from what I understand that we already looked, they don't seem fresh. Like, these aren't like new huts.
Correct. These are very old, very dilapidated huts that are in heavy disuse.
The unharvested chimera, and I'll give you some. I mean, it's all kind of up to you as the DM here, Thomas. But I'd like to cast Identify on it.
Okay.
And it's meant to, for if you like touch a magical object, you can learn like what sort of spells were used, how it's imbued, and whatnot, and like, you know, any kind of features that it has. But if you do it on a creature instead, you can learn what kind of spells are currently affecting it. And I imagine if something dies, most spells stop affecting it. But I'm kind of more wondering if I can learn something about its origins, as to like how this creature came to being through the Identify spell.
So this is going to be outside the realm of the spell, right? As you just identified or just pointed out. But can we work out a way to where maybe you can like push it with your own magical nature? Can we like
some divining?
Divining, manipulating the arcane magics into something, just channeling it ever so slightly into something else. For that, let's actually have you roll a spell check ability. So basically your spell save, it's not a spell save DC, it's the
spell attack bonus.
Spell attack bonus is what we're going to do. And I'm going to have a DC that I'm going to set that you'll have to achieve to try and get something like that. It's fairly reasonable, so it won't be overly difficult.
Okay.
And let's see if we can get some sort of information. And then if it's a great success, you might be able to glean more information from it. Yeah.
Okay. I try and lean on some of my divination abilities, taking hold of an owl feather from my component pouch, and cast Identify. It was on a 1 for a second, and then it tilted and turned into a 19. That's a 24.
24. Yeah. Well done.
Oh, yeah.
My DC was 13, so that is very much a success. In fact, it's 10 over the DC.
I was going to say that's a critical success.
If in Pathfinder 2e, that's a critical success, yes.
Which means I get to roll another thing to see if something
that's
actually
right,
happens.
It explodes, and yeah. A whole different system.
So, as and you were looking to see, like, how is this creature created? How is it made, right?
Yeah.
Through science.
They didn't stop to ask if they should create.
I guess some of the origin was this, like, did a malevolent, like, demon or celestial being, like, make it together, or was this actually like a magician's invention? You know what I mean? Like, what was the I could kind of learn maybe not like who, but like the type of origin, perhaps.
Yeah. So like, how did this one come to be, sort of a thing, right? And okay. Give me.
Sorry if I'm pushing you for information you're not like interested in.
No, give me 10 seconds. 1 sec.
It's a lot of this is coming from the fact that I'm suspicious of Rickety Hake. I
Oh,
feel like
okay.
I feel like
Ooh, this
Buster's
is good
never
to
really.
know.
I feel like Buster's never really trusted him, and so
He sure hasn't, yeah.
finding
he send
something
us off to our
unnatural like
doom?
this.
Yeah, send us off
A little
to our
bit
doom. We have to
like
be
maybe
sacrificed.
he kind of like what if these are his? You know what I mean? Like
He like sends people off. He's like, "Oh, I'll fix your ship," and then he resells the ship.
Gotta feed his chimeras somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, Ataraxia trusts Rickety Hake implicitly, so.
And I think Buster's trusting his captain's instinct, but there's this little part of him that just won't let go of that thing in the back of his brain. It might be a broken piece of him, but like that just isn't willing to trust.
All right. So with your success, you're able to glean. It's strange because you're like, okay, I'm going to identify. So first off, you get the beginning essence of the identify, but then I imagine kind of like you open your eyes and they're like a glossy, milky white, right? As you push your own magic and you try to enact your divine sense at the same time as you casting this spell. And so it's creating like this combination, this new arcane combination of magic that is reacting with the powers of the multiverse, right? And with in a way to where instead of how you would normally react to the identify spell is just a perfect info dump with like pictures and things like that. And although this isn't like legend lore, right, which is another spell in D&D, you do have another dump, which is just like images and like almost like from history, and some that are like almost like drawn like it's weird, like a tapestry of old, right? And so you see like chimeras emerging directly like out of the sand from the desert from long ago, and then you see some in a strange land, but in like an oasis as well. And then you see like other images, and these ones actually like move a little bit, and where they're ushered onto a ship in cages and being across the seas and like being jostled about. Some are attached to chains and being moved about this way and that. And then finally, some of the more clear images are of individuals, humans, running as the dragon's breath just sprays them, while a militant force seems to be behind these chimeras in a cave very similar to this one, like cave-like structure like this one. And so and that's really only because you got a critical success, right? That you were able to get like boom, 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 all of that before the magic. You have to disengage or take some like severe penalty to like for pushing the multiverse outside the realms of what it would normally be right now.
I'm not gonna push.
So you break off with that. With the disjoint of images.
Okay. Yeah. Whoa. Right. So these. Can I say something? Like as that happens, like the line of text. There's that line of text on his scarf that would begin to illuminate for the identify spell. But as this kind of like deeper thing starts to happen, could like that glow start to almost grow and engulf like a piece of the whole scarf itself?
Yeah.
Like in that.
Like it's bleeding out of the text, right? So like because it's being forced to react in a way again, like outside of the spell.
Yeah. And so he'll start to glow in that way a little bit, then be, thrust away really quickly, and kind of breathe a little deep and be like, okay, I think these get chased after the people who settled here. I think these are from Raha-doomed. Yeah. Whoever was chasing the people who came here, it brought these.
And if they're bringing stuff like this along with them, whatever these people had must have been something that the people chasing them really, really wanted.
Did your spell show you something? Did you have a vision?
Yeah, I saw So these things weren't made by a lab. They weren't made by like a mad wizard or whatnot. They came out of the sands of a desert, and so probably some kind of like divine creation of some sort, or demonic maybe.
But did you see where the treasure is?
I didn't see any treasure. No, I didn't see any treasure.
Ignis, frustrated, will summon her echo, another echo, and start. She'll go into one hut, and her echo will appear next to her and go into a different one. Even though the echo can't look at anything, but the idea is we're here to find treasure. So Ignis is going to try and find some treasure.
And I'm ready to start searching as well. Just stick my horns into all of these little huts here and see if we can find something.
All right. Max, Jacob, I've been looking and I haven't found anything that's super satisfying when it comes to harvesting. So let's come up with something for this episode that
Even in
I
Pathfinder?
I haven't looked in Pathfinder yet. I'll do a deep dive off this episode, but something that I think is fair is we're going to do some medium to low DCs since this creature was well preserved. It wasn't just like slashed to bits to get these. And we're going to use survival since we've used that in the past, right? And we are going, if you exceed by like 5 or 10 the DC, then you can have a couple options that I'll present to you for like really nice quality for each of these things, okay? So let's go and have you start with whichever part you'd like to harvest first.
We'll go... Well, I said head. We'll just do heads. Go straight for the goat head.
Goat head. Okay, it's a large item. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, so it's going to be still fairly average. So we're going to do a DC of, we'll say 12 right now to get this in a average condition, good condition.
I'm going to use my bardic inspiration.
Yep, that works. Go for it.
That's what it's there for. Oh no, a 1. I'm not going to make it. That's a 10.
10. So you still harvest it. It's just not in good condition. It's a little bit poor condition here. Not like not worth it, but it's like, yeah, this could have been harvested a little bit better. But maybe you can
let the skeleton decompose and I'll have a huge goat skeleton head.
There you go, right? So harvested, not an issue. Okay.
And then a horn from the other goat head.
Okay. Horn is a little bit easier to do, right? So the DC we'll say is a DC of 8 here to get good quality.
That's 19.
19? Wow. You can get either 1 in pristine / excellent condition, or you can get 2 in like good condition.
I'll go with 1 just because it's going on my crossbow. It's got to be pristine.
Great. Just perfect condition, this one. You're very upset with the head, and you're like, dang it. And it's off the main body, and so it's just, you're able to get it, no problem. Okay? Next part.
Then claws and teeth. Claws from the lion's, teeth from the dragon's head.
Okay, let's do the claws first.
That's a 21.
21. I forgot to say the DC. These ones
20.
are not as hard as not as difficult as goat head. So it's just a straight 10 is what I was going to do. So you exceeded by 10, so a critical success for going by that rule. So you can get claws in pristine condition or just a lot of good claws if you'd like.
1 claw in pristine or
no, just like a hand, like a paw of claws, so like 5. I imagine like you're doing 5 of it or however many claws it has in a hand in pristine
I'll take
condition.
5 claws then.
Okay, and then the claws from the dragon, right?
The teeth.
Teeth. So these teeth, they're going to be a little bit harder to do just because they're smaller, they're bunched together. So this one's probably going to be a 12 as well to get good condition for teeth.
Oh, that's not good. That's an 11.
11.
Guidance?
Okay.
Anybody? No. I don't know if we have guidance yet.
We might not have guidance this time.
Nope, don't got guidance.
Oh,
11.
man.
Could I try again on, because there's 2 heads technically. Well, I shot the other dragon head up.
See, that's true. So you can probably get some scraps from that dragon head. But yeah, so these ones are, we'll say, average. So not poor, but average.
Okay. Well, I just need like 1. So
Great.
that'll work.
and then we can actually usher everybody over to where the treasure is if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Over in the west area here, and I'm gonna look up the treasure.
I'm gonna rock. As you're doing that, Max is going to, because I have 5, there's 4 of us, I have 5 claws, so Max is actually going to hand off a claw to each member of the party, and he's going to be like, this is your treasure. This is your treasure. Because this is like the biggest treasure Max thinks of. He's not
That's
thinking of
his
the actual
treasure,
treasure.
Yeah.
And he's like,
we did it, folks.
For our party killed. And he'll just hand them off.
Yeah, I'm going to take the claw and kind of stick it through a portion of the headband that I've got around.
I like it, Captain.
Thank you. I tuck it into my component pouch.
Ignis will take it without comment, but she will put it on her cap.
Nice.
You say it best when you say nothing at all. Let's keep Sweet. So y'all got a claw. Yay.
Yay. The claw
Was it
crew.
the dragon tooth or was it the lion?
It was the lion's
lion
claw.
Got it.
Meanwhile, under his arm, he's just got this goat head.
Yeah,
It's like dripping.
What a good day.
Max will let the head basically decompose or strip it. He'll probably find like a butcher in town and have it stripped, and then just take the skeleton part of it and like probably hang it in his room on the ship or something.
So as you walk
Nice.
west, Max being occupied with his real treasure, you do come across a tiny treasure hoard that had been tucked away and secreted away. It's difficult to find, but you are persistent and you do spend some time looking for it, knowing the direction that the Chimera left. It's hidden behind some boulders, but you are diligent in your efforts and you get the following items. You get 10 gems. They're each worth 50 gold pieces each. They can be a variety of gems here, because there are some coins here. Not as many as the gems and some of the items, because these were religious, if you recall. But we still have... Oh boy, okay. Well, that was a good roll. 2,600 gold pieces here in the hoard, so
Nice.
that's pretty darn good.
Not as many as you would expect there to be. 2,600 gold pieces.
Hey, I picked from the table, not a good, and then I rolled
And
amazingly
this-
well. So,
This place could have been pilfered once already.
yeah.
I was thinking like maybe triple digit gold pieces. That was why it was funny.
Oh, we got
Like low
quadruple
triple
digit.
digits.
Yeah, that's pretty
But like
darn
low
good
triple
there.
digits, but
Okay, and we're going to go to Magic Table C.
nice.
Ooh.
Here we go. And
Magic table.
D100. That's there we go. 75. Ooh, you get... since we have Identify, Josh, you'll eventually learn this anyway, so to save on time and I don't have to like write the notes and then come up 20 episodes later,
Awesome.
have to go find it. You're
Love
going
it.
to get the first, an Elixir of Health.
An elixir of health?
Awesome.
Okay, an Elixir of Health. Let me look up the description so that we can...
Cures any disease afflicting you and removes blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned conditions.
And then you get a an object that looks like a wooden box that you go to open.
Is there a worm inside?
Inside of it?
This is a foot-long box, right?
Big
so
worm.
it's if this
Is
would
it
be
a
a massive
foot-long
worm
worm
if it was
inside
in
of
it.
Is there a sandwich
$5
inside
foot
of it?
long.
You can open it, and there don't appear to be any items stored in it. But as you cast Identify, this is a folding boat.
Ooh.
Yes.
Folding boat.
Yes.
For our listeners who don't know what a folding boat is, it's great fun. It's you can it has 3 command words. Well, basically the first one will allow you to unfold the boat that is 10 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 2 feet deep. And it's got a pair of oars, an anchor, a mast, a sail, and it can hold up to 4 medium creatures. Then the second command causes it to unfold, and it's 24 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 6 feet deep. It's got rowing seats, it's got a deck, it's got 5 sets of oars, and then
Wow.
finally, the third one is called folding boat, and it goes back into the box.
So we have an extra
So
ship.
you've
We have a dinghy and a.
got a magical
Boat.
folding
boy.
ship that you can use.
You know, I think this is pretty ideal if you ask me.
If we ever get marooned or
And then the final-
stranded,
Awesome.
we have a
The final item you have is actually very reminiscent of the item that you found in the pond, Buster. It is a statue with a woman with wings pointing directly up who is looking to the sky with almost like a light shining off of her as there is a circle that seems to be behind her, almost like a shining sun. This is, as Ataraxia said before, the symbol of Sarenrae. This does have some magical properties to it.
And if I didn't identify on it?
As you do identify on
For
it.
your sake, so that you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about all the
Exactly.
information later.
Of course. As you do identify, this is a another cleric focus. That is a +1 cleric focus here that can be used.
Okay, awesome. All right, take that, water creature.
Are you going to keep this one?
I would like
or
to.
sell it.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put it in your stuff for sure.
For the ship, at least.
We should take our folding boat back to the pond where we met that water elemental and just be like, hey, check it out.
Why would we do that?
Just show him the boat. Hey, we can circumvent your whole element.
As we're in the middle of that fight, I do remember thinking, my guy really isn't built for fights. I really like. I tried to focus on spells for finding things, learning things,
I mean,
understanding.
as a divination wizard, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you feel like you've grabbed everything there is to be grabbed from this cave here with the treasure that you've picked up. A whole crap ton of gold pieces for sure. You've refilled your coffers from
Yeah, I was
swimming the
going to
boat
say we're back
and
to
more.
like 2 loot.
So this cave that we just alluded is the one that Ignis saw when she was flying around doing the
Correct.
quick lap, right?
Yes, this is the one. I was not intending for there to be another secret one as the DM, so this is the one that she had she found.
He was not intending it to be. It doesn't mean there wasn't one.
All right, crew, adventuring party. Anything else you'd like to do in this cave before we disembark out of the underground, I should say?
I just like to, look at some of these skeletons of the people and see if I can figure out maybe a bit of their story, what's going on with them.
Yeah, so
I was going to do the exact same thing. I was going to see if I could like find any memorabilia of the people who had failed this mission.
yeah.
What did the water creature say? Who was a cleric, right? Stop by.
Oh gosh,
An
I think maybe
Elementalist. Yeah.
the person who
Elemental wizard
its buddy
elementalist.
died here, and that's why. So maybe we return.
Max is gonna try and see if there's signs for that.
Max, I'm gonna have you roll. Perception for this because you're looking over a variety of objects here, a great landscape.
Natural 20.
Let's
gosh.
go. Let's go.
For a total, what's the total so we know?
28.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So the symbol of Raha-doomed is modernly, as you may know, is actually 2 hands pointed forward like this. And for our listeners who can't see my hands right now,
It's like a butterfly.
Essentially, like a butterfly. The thumbs of the hands are connected to each other with the hands spread outward from side to side. And it's very traditional to have that on a shield, a bronze shield, to kind of symbolize the symbol of Raha-doomed. However, as you go about and look at some of these symbols, you don't see that iconography. Instead, you see, you come across a few old pieces. I mean, very old pieces. And it's only because you rolled a 28 underneath rubble you actually have to move some of the bodies. You move some dust with some wind as Buster kind of helps you move it along, and you remove a tile from the ground. And you actually see some symbols where instead of the hands are put together like a butterfly, they're extended outward like a greeting, like they are inviting. So the symbol is not what Raha-doomed is now. It's same like hand symbols, but they are, instead of put together and forming like a wall, they are gesturing outwards, almost like welcoming in, right?
Interesting.
And so you see that on a couple symbols, and as you go to this one house that is completely destroyed, you see inside that there is a very old skeleton where one hand is clutching something underneath its arm. And as you go over and lift the arm actually falls off the skeleton and clatters to the ground. But you see a book underneath, and you pick up the book, and on one side it has the hands outstretched, and on the other side it shows a symbol of water, like an ancient, like elemental symbol of water, right? And as you go to open the book, most of the pages are just completely rot, dissolved. You could tell that this was a large tome, but most of the pages are just completely, I'll say like 98, if not 100% of the pages are just completely illegible and readable and just immediately fall out of the binding.
Max will pocket the book, and on the way back, we'll want to stop by the pool.
A mending spell wouldn't help with that, would it?
I don't think so, because it's been so old and aged. So, yeah. All right. Anything else in this cave? Ataraxia, you were looking for some indication, right, of kind of like additional information about these people, right? Anything in particular?
Yeah, this is mostly just in the sense of like, we've got sort of the beginning of this story from Rickety Hake. These Raha-doomed, people came here, and I just want to try and figure out like what is the end of this story that I can write down in my scrolls here.
Right.
What's their extinction event?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I'll have you roll I will allow you to choose between investigation and perception with how well Max did in his perception. Like, he's kind of cleared a lot of the path to do a lot of to see the things beyond the rubble. So he can kind of like point, oh, there might be something here, there might be something here, there might be something here. I'll let you make that choice if you want to do perception or investigation, though.
All right, I shall perceive a 21.
21. So not too far off from where you were at with the Chimera battle, actually. There are a pile of bones, and as you actually look through and under the pile of bones, you see some ancient metal that is heavily like water damaged. So it's got like the coloring has changed drastically, but as you try to like, I don't know if wiping would help, but as you look, there's a raised image on both of these shields. And one of them that seems like more well put together, like that it's heavier, has that symbol of Raha-doomed, the current symbol of Raha-doomed, with the two hands pushed together, forming that butterfly/wall, and then a smaller shield next to it that has like been broken, cracked. It has the symbol with the two hands outstretched. That's pretty much all that we can gather from such an old battlefield, an old conflict, though.
Yeah. So, Ned aside, how much do you think Ataraxia might know about the history of religion in Raha-doomed?
Well, I believe that you rolled for that in a previous episode, right? Like we took a look, you knew about Saren Ray, like you rolled about Saren Ray when that symbol came up. Yeah, let's think about that. So Ataraxia, trying to be as versed as he can, let's have you roll a history check.
Let's go for
Let's just
that.
see it.
That's 3.
3. So right now, not much, but it might come to you later.
But if I use a luck point, then maybe.
We'll see.
It's a 17.
17. You can get some with how old it is, you can get some pretty, maybe a little bit more than common knowledge about religion in Raha-doomed, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure Ned knows everything about it, right? Or is very familiar
Yeah.
with the Raha-doomed, but
So like the interesting thing about religion in Raha-doomed is obedience to gods is prohibited in the entire nation.
yes.
It's like if you go in there and you do worship something, don't let people know that you're worshiping a god. No signs of devotion. So the thing that I'm thinking of, like this symbolism, the current sign being kind of blocking and the older sign being more welcoming, might be indication of like maybe these people left because they wanted to still be worshiping their gods, and they weren't able to now that this new policy had been made.
Yeah, which would be in line with what Rickety Hake kind of started to, the legend of the treasure that he explained to you, right? Like that's just a legend. It could be a wives' tale, but this symbology might seem to support something like that.
Okay. Do you share that with the group, or are you just learning that as Ataraxia?
Yeah,
your
I'll
book?
share that with the rest of the group. And, I mean, we got some people who are into gods. I mean, obviously, the Lieutenant worships Rolterra. I'm a pretty big fan of Caden Kalian. How about you two? You got, like, big guys up top that you're interested in?
Nah. I don't want to bother any of them.
A bother.
But I'm not really interested in any of them either, you know.
I'm just a believer and a vexer of chance. It's all I really like to see which way life takes you.
Works for me, dude.
That works for you. Just to not believe in anybody. To not have anyone to pray to. To not believe that anyone is in charge of your own fate.
It's not that I don't believe in the gods. I think they're there. I think that they do good things. I just like to forge my own path, if you will.
You get mad when you don't understand something, don't you, Iggy?
What I don't understand is just this. How do you not have somebody? How can you go through life and not believe that someone's looking out for you? Someone's watching over you. Somebody to talk to about things. To make sure that you're on the right path, doing the things that you need to be doing in this life. You just go through life doing whatever. You don't believe there's a plan. You don't believe that somebody's going to be watching out for you. Isn't that lonely? Isn't that scary?
I would say, as I look to help others along their path, I hope that they would do the same for me. I don't criticize anyone who goes about it a different way, like you, Lieutenant. If you want to rely on a higher power, that's fine, but
It's not a matter of want. It's a matter of what's right.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but whatever God thought it'd be a good idea to make us slaves. Not a big fan of that one.
But it brought us here, didn't it? Where would we be if we hadn't been there?
We brought ourselves here. What God helped us get out of that situation? I didn't see him helping. No.
You didn't.
Listen,
because your eyes aren't open. You can't see the golden threads through the multiverse to be able to bring us to this moment where we're here together. We were able to beat the two chimeras. Almost no one else has been able to do that.
I got no problem with your God and all the different versions of yourself you see and help us. They're great. Whatever everybody believes is fine with me. But I don't trust some being to want my best better than I want my best, if that makes sense.
I feel sorry for you. I truly do.
Well, and I might be
Thank
simple-minded, lizard brain. Sorry. I guess I look at it as, we have multiple spellcasters in our group. We don't just rely on one spell. So I look for many chances to put faith in others, in deities, and as I help, I appreciate it in return. But I don't expect, because usually expectations let you down.
Ataraxia hears that and instantly starts writing stuff down in his therapist's notes.
I mean, like that.
For the next one-on-one round.
Yeah.
That water creature. That water creature we found, right? It had a buddy. It was religious. It had faith. It's waiting for somebody. It's been sitting there in that water, killing any yahoo that comes along looking for some gold in the water. Like, adding nothing, doing nothing, achieving nothing.
That was faith in a person. That was faith in something mortal. Not something immortal, not something eternal. Not something that can see from the beginning to the end. It was finite. And it's stuck in a loop.
I don't think anybody sees beginning to end there, though. I don't think that's real. We got gold, gang. We got, go us, right? Oh, well done, Cap. You led us to victory.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to say in the age of Lost Omens. I mean, the god of humanity died. None of us were expecting that. But, we did a good job here today, everybody. And I give everybody a gold star as prestidigitation.
Hey, look at that.
And as the gold stars are given and this conversation left kind of in the air as all of you exit out, given the golds, distributing the weight amongst each other, looking at the cool items, and Max with his true treasure here. That is where we're going to end this week's episode of I Cast Fireball.
Yes, yes.
Level 5!
Level 5.
Let's go.
All right.
Water breathing. Water breathing.
You see, everybody, this is that Galarian Pathfinder lore that I am so in love with.
I know, you sure are. You're here in your element.
Oh, man. And we are going to be getting so much more lore from Ned and myself in the future regarding Galarian. It's a fun world, folks. It's really fun. If you like world building, boy, have they done a good job over there. But level 5, guys, let's go around and say what level we're going to take it in and maybe roll hit dice. Just the one hit dice, or if we're going to take the safe option here. So we're going to start with the Ataraxia, dude. You going Bard?
That I am.
Woo! Nice. You want to roll your hit die here? I believe it's a D8, right? Or do you want to just take the half?
Don't want to roll it. Just going to stick with the 5.
You got it. Sounds good. All right, Max. Are we going Ranger?
I will be going Ranger.
Nice.
I get an extra attack.
Ooh, very nice.
And then I'll roll my hit dice, a D10. Here, I'll roll my fancy D10. Why not? Here we go. Fancy! 7. 8.
Wow.
So I'm now at 34.
Woo, very good. All right, Buster. Are you going Wizard?
Absolutely.
All right, sounds good.
D6.
D6, you rolling?
I'm rolling. I got 28 hit points as is. I rolled a 5 plus a 2. Does that give me to 35?
That's 35.
That's crazy.
Holy cow. As a 5th level wizard. Well done.
A plus 2 Constitution was a good move. I knew I was going to be squishy, so I tried to give myself a
little bit of
in the
boost.
hand.
Very nice. Oh, and Jacob, you get level 2 spells now.
I do. I get one more spell known, and I get level 2, so I got to pick a level 2 spell, possibly.
And then, Josh, you get level 3 spells here. Very fun.
Yes, and water breathing. The one that I have been wanting since day one.
Yeah.
The one I made us start at level 4 so we can have some knowledge
Some
of
danger in the water.
Yeah.
I can essentially pick all of us to be able to breathe underwater.
Oh, gosh.
It's like the perfect sailing
Yeah, it is.
spell.
Yeah.
I'm very
Exactly.
excited.
And then, Ned, I believe you get a crap ton of stuff at level 5, right?
Yeah, so I have access to 3rd level spells. I have chosen Bestow Curse.
Nice.
Nice.
Good.
I've always wanted to take it, and I never have.
It's fun. I'm looking forward to it.
3 cantrips as well now. You did last time too. Sorry.
Yep.
Uh,
But the other fun stuff is I now have my Font of Inspiration, so I get all of my Bardic Inspiration back every short rest instead of every long rest.
yes.
And now my Bardic Inspiration is a D8 instead of a D6.
Awesome.
Nice. That's so good.
Good.
And then finally, Mickey, are you doing 5th level fighter?
I'm doing a 5th level fighter. I have a D10 for a hit dice. I never roll, so I'm just going to take the 6 plus my 2 Constitution modifier, which is an 8. And that brings me up from 36 to 44 hit points.
Nice.
And at level 5, I get an extra attack as well.
How do you get so many hit points? Why am I so low? Dang.
Because the fighter has a D10.
I have a D10.
Well, because I don't roll, I just take the high one.
I don't think I've rolled low yet.
What's your con modifier, Jake?
2.
My con
She gets
modifier is
2.
only 1. I didn't really do Constitution,
Okay.
because I'm focused mostly on.
Well, and everybody at level 5, they have a proficiency bonus of 3 now.
Yes.
Instead of 2.
Feels
so
So
good.
all of your
Feels so
proficiencies
good.
go up by 1.
Yes.
Done. Including, including your attacks, which is going to be awesome. Listeners, we're going to call it there. I am going to do a reduced outro here, but if you like what we're doing, thank you. And go and reach out to us on our social medias at ICASTFireball20, but especially our patron-exclusive Discord, where you can chat with us every day, and you can learn more about our levels and all the fun stuff we're talking about. We've got Improv Tabletop. They're doing amazing stuff in the Avatar Legends world over there. Go check them out. And they have 2 years worth of amazing mini 1-month campaigns. And Titans of Altera. They're doing fantastic stuff as well. They've got 3 seasons out. You can go ahead and binge them and start directly from the beginning and have a ton of content. But lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and fellow wacky adventurers. But until next time, I'm Tom Shadiem, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Halcon.
Maximus Shuns.
Ataraxia Kalian.
And Buster Bilgewater.
Let's keep that fire going, everybody, and we'll see you all next time.